Good morning, Zio here, and today we're going back to not exactly Wizards of the Coast, but the reason why Wizards of the Coast, or my thoughts, my opinion on why Wizards of the Coast was trying to push out that particular thing where it would pretty much like own anything that you ever created for D&D, so they can collect revenue as well as try to extract royalties from you if you make so much and stuff like that. Anyway, you know what? Grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? So if you saw my previous coverage on the Wizards of the Coast thing, I may have mentioned that Hasbro was the parent company of Wizards of the Coast. If not, now you know. Anyway, Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro. They have owned it for quite some time, actually. 1999. Anyway, quite some time, actually. So we talked about how they were absolutely trying to take anything that you own, make it theirs, and all this other stuff, and pretty much telling you to distance yourself from D&D, remove any branding, anything that would allow Wizards to come in and say, hey, that could be ours. That's ours. Well, no matter what they do with their terms and stuff now, that should be the way forward. So if they do decide to worm it in there later on in life, you're covered and you don't have to worry about it, right? Anyway, here's the reason why. Hasbro's cutting workforce by 15% despite gaming profit increase. I wonder, who would have thunk it? Anyway, and it's not that they're cutting the workforce from their gaming division either. No. Let's take a look in here. But Hasbro has announced that it will be laying off 15% of its global workforce, a total more than 1,000 jobs, apparently, according as a piece of investor news, January 26th. The company cited underperforming of consumer products in the fourth quarter. Compared to that, Hasbro's gaming division were the ones that saw growth, leading to the decision for its direction in the wake of these layoffs. Hasbro is a global entertainment, blah, blah, blah. They own Wizards, who makes Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, blah, 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 blah. Per Hasbro's January 26th report, the gaming division, which was the only part of the company that merit any strong growth in the quarter with a 22% year-over-year increase. Every other component of the company, however, dragged revenue down for a 17% overall loss. Oof. And they do a lot of different things. Hasbro does all sorts of toys and things, right? Meaning toys just aren't selling like they used to, board games and stuff like that. Anyway, with the success of the gaming division in mind, Hasbro has announced a new plan, titled by CEO's Chris... Can I say that on YouTube? I can on Rumble. Anyway, I think it's past that point. Chris Cox as Blueprint 2.0. Those 15% layoffs are an opening component of this plan, which seeks to narrow Hasbro's focus to fewer brands, including more priority placed on gaming and digital elements. Wizards of the Coast wanted to take all your digital elements that you ever made, making it their own. So they wanted to proactively go, hey, you made this for D&D. We can now use this in any promotional and all this other stuff, given that they keep saying that it's a draft when it absolutely wasn't, because they only handed it off to a few select groups and people who were going to sign off on it, and it had to be leaked by an employee for the rest of the community to actually see it and rail back against. But hey, I'm sure it has nothing to do with Hasbro wanting to, I don't know, put a priority on digital elements of their company or in gaming in general, which would happen to include a majority of Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering, which they keep trying to make a push into the digital realm, and and Dungeons and Dragons is the one that is succeeding in by far the largest in that kind of thing with Roll20 and stuff, right? I'm sure that has nothing to do with anything. Okay, we can say it. I know you've already said it. Bullshit. Anyway, yeah. On top of that, this president and chief's operating officer, Eric Naiman, will also be departing Hasbro. I don't really care. Anyway, while Hasbro pivots to a more focus on gaming, makes sense in the wake of the post growth. That area hasn't been without its own stumbles. Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast recently initiated a controversy with their plans. The new gaming license, yeah, that's what we keep talking about, right? Of Dungeons and Dragons. This decision on the famous tabletop role-playing game system saw protests from across the community and cancellations of paid online D&D accounts. Only recently, in response to that, the outcry, did Wizards of the Coast reverse course, informing the community that it wasn't them who won. It was them and all of us, because without them, without somebody to point our pointy sticks at, none of this would have been possible, right? So in the end, we all won. Am I correct? Am I right? Yeah, we all won that one. Fuck off. Fuck off, Wizards. Fuck off, Hasbro. Anyway, leaving the previous version in place, given the growth in the gaming division, plus an upcoming Dungeons and Dragons feature film that Hasbro is banking on, which, if you sailed the high seas to watch, that is your prerogative. I won't tell you to or not to, because I don't think I legally can, but that's up to you. Anyway, it makes sense that the company would want to placate the fan base moving forward. Placate. Yeah. Anyway, the company will also see a new game based on its Transformers property, titled Transformers Wait, they own Transformers? I know they make the toys and stuff, but do they actually own? Anyway, I have to look into that now. Anyway, released sometime in the future. However, these pivots to potentially profitable areas for the company can't help the short-term cost-cutting measures from the end of the last quarter. The unfortunate employees who were laid off were caught in the crossfire of the failures of Hasbro's overall short-term profit aspirations, which is probably more true than we really want to talk about today. But yeah, I'm almost positive that this absolutely has nothing to do with why the OGL needed a 2.1, 2.0, whatever it is, a supposed draft that they were going to initially take all the because they wanted community feedback. Remember, people, it was a draft. It was a draft of the highest quality of drafts, because it was totally a draft, right? It was a draft. Yeah, right. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.